It's time for Peptide Talk, featuring Garrett Pope. Now, here is your host, Joe Zapata.
What's up, guys? Joe Zapata here. Another week of Peptide Talk, and I'm here with the man, the Peptide King himself, Garrett Pope. What's up, Garrett?
What's up, man?
What is going on, man? Before we start, again, go to equipfoods.com, use promo code JerseyJZ, and get 15% off your order. So again, go to equipfoods.com and use promo code JerseyJZ, get 15% off your order, and we will go from there. I'm going to pull it up right there. There it is, equipfoods.com. All right, Garrett. Before we start talking about the peptides and stuff, let's talk a little bit about HGH. We were just talking about it, and there is actually a shortage going on. I don't know too much about it, so tell me about it. What's going on?
Yeah, so we talked about HGH a few weeks ago, okay? And went into depth and everything. And I heard this was going to be happening about a month, maybe 2 months, whatever it was ago. And apparently it's happened. There's a great HGH shortage. Now, what I mean by that is a lot of it, that comes from China and everything. It's dried up. Apparently, I'm hearing a couple different things. Number one, there's something going on with China where they're regulating it now, and a lot of the labs aren't allowed to produce, HGH anymore. A lot of the companies, they're just not allowed. They've been shut down by China. The other thing I'm hearing is it has to do with the tariffs and all that, and getting to the country with customs and all this kind of stuff. Either way, whatever the issue is, and there's been a couple other people that do, podcasts about bodybuilding and supplements, and they've actually talked about it over the last 2 days. Oh, wow. And there's a great HGH shortage right now. I laugh about it because I've always said to people, you can get Chinese HGH, you can get quality, real. You've heard me say this before, and the problem with this is if you get the real stuff, the pharmaceutical stuff, the stuff from the U.S., you have no shortage problems.
Mm-hmm. So if you get it from the U.S., no shortage problems.
Exactly.
Wow.
So when I talked about the serostum, for example, okay, that's the stuff that I always said in the past is the golden grail of HGH, okay? There's no shortage problem there because that's produced by a U.S. company, that's produced by a conglomerate of Merck Medco, okay? Everybody knows Merck. There's no shortage there because that's what's used for AIDS and HIV patients, okay? So there's no shortage whatsoever. It's all the Titan brands and the I use that word out there. I'll throw that out there again. The Titan brands. I know a lot of people push Titan. Titan, Dragon, a lot of different brands out there. All of a sudden, they're going just dried up. The prices have skyrocketed on them because people know they can start upcharging on it because there's a limited quantity. So that's something just to keep an eye on out there for people. I do use HGH. You're gonna see over the next couple months, you're gonna have a hard time getting it. Just like I've heard through the grapevine over the last year or so, there's been a great shortage of Primobolan and Masteron and things like that where people haven't been able to get their hands on it. This is going to happen the same way here. And that's why I always tell people, if you deal with U.S. companies, you don't have to worry about this. When you deal with China, you're always going to have to worry about these problems. But if you deal with U.S. companies, U.S. labs, U.S. pharmaceutical companies, U.S. compounding pharmacies, you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, and also the shipping, the tariffs and everything coming over, they're going to prices skyrocketing. What are the prices you're seeing now that they're going up to?
Some absurd things. I mean, I'll tell people right there now, if people wanted to Google serostum price or serostum, however you want to pronounce it, okay? I mean, that's really, how you choose to pronounce it. But if you wanted to Google it, you'll actually see right now. And you know what? I'm going to do this right now for people. Okay. So they don't have to do the work. And this is the
cost of what it is.
All right.
Because I've seen it pretty high. I mean, I've seen it over.
I ain't the word. I think I sent you a text message a couple weeks ago, actually. on it, but I'm going to do it right now. So this way I take all the guess. And then, listen, anybody can back this up here. Here you go. The average retail price, this is retail without a prescription, this and that. The average retail price for Serostim, somatropin, is quite high, typically ranging from $21,100 to $25,700 for a standard supply of 4 cartons, each containing 7 6-milligram vials. So that means what an AIDS patient's monthly dosage is. So 4 kits would range between $21,000 and $25,000 per kit. If you are filling the prescription incrementally, the cost per carton generally falls between $3,400 and $5,600, depending on your required dosage strength. So per kit, okay, 126 IUs would be between $3,400 and $5,600, okay? GoodRx, for example, their prices with a prescription range from $36.10 to $45.10 per carton.
Wow.
That's absurd.
Crazy. That's pretty crazy.
Walgreens, CVS, $5,600 to $5,900 without insurance.
Yeah.
So when I tell people it ain't cheap, it's pricey. But of course, if you have a connection with this, you're not paying that type of amount. But the underground pricing of HGH, which has been much more reasonable, is now going to go through the roof. So even the stuff that people were getting in China really, really cheap, that stuff's going to go through the roof now also. So,
yeah, I know even people who get it through their insurance, and they said it's very expensive through their insurance.
Yep.
They still can't get it. It's very hard.
Yep. You have to have either an outstanding connection, or you have to, or you have to play the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's I'm telling you, there's going to be a great HGH shortage going on now. People are scrambling already. I see online people are hoarding, people are bulk buying, people are literally like, and I laugh about it. You know, I just saw somebody comment and they said they had $15,000. They said set aside for something else, and they said I just used 12,000 of it to stockpile HGH. Jesus, and I just sat there and I scratched my head, and I went, "Your priorities are in the wrong place." If that, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different story if you turn around and you say, "I had $250,000 set aside that I was going to spend on something. I took 12 grand of it and I stocked up at HGH. No problem."
Yeah.
But if you're spending 12 of the 15 that you had, I don't know, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So that means there's probably going to be a lot of fake stuff out there.
You're exactly right.
You know, because I know there's a lot of fake stuff already out there, but that means this is going to push out the market.
And fake stuff has been dealt in the past, as everybody knows. Okay.
100%.
You know, so there's been a ton of fake stuff out there back, you know, in the past. Listen, it's not just HGH. Over the years, there's always been fake stuff of everything. Now, again, I will say to anybody, you have Janosik testing. I don't want to hear about these little Roy Kiss tests and this and that. Janosik testing is a lab tested. Everything is certificate of analysis. Okay. You want real tests, you can just send it out to that. Does it cost a little bit of money? It does, but wouldn't peace of mind? I mean, think about something back in the day, think about 20 years ago, 25 years ago. How did you know if anything was real or not? Well, take it and find out.
That's really how it was.
Take it and find out. And after 6 weeks or 8 weeks, if you're sitting there going, I see no difference, I feel no difference, this is garbage, or holy shit, I see a difference. Yep. So that was the testing back in the day. Nowadays, things are so more advanced. And I tell people, spend a little money for peace of mind. Okay. Yep. It's worth it. I mean, why would you, instead of just taking money and throwing it down the drain, you know what I'm saying? That also nowadays, anybody that's going to, you know, and again, it's not like the past. Anybody that's going to sell fake stuff nowadays, they have to be half retarded, because there goes your entire reputation.
Yep, 100%.
The moment somebody tests that stuff, I mean, I'm on here basically begging people, get your stuff tested, get your stuff tested. So the moment somebody gets their stuff tested and it comes out as fake, well, your reputation is in the tube.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And I would also tell people is this. Some of these companies, I'm talking about peptides, I'm talking about anything. They think a fancy label And people fall for this. Oh, well, the label from this looks so great, and the label on this is just so generic or bland, or just a little name on it. Usually when you have a fancy label of something, that's a company or some trying to hide something. Okay?
Mhm.
They're trying to fool you with the magic trick. Look at our fancy label. We're professional. You don't need a fancy label if it
No,
works.
no.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
If that's the honest truth, if the stuff is legit and it works, do you care what the label is?
No,
No.
no.
So that's why I tell
100%.
everybody. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of fake stuff out there, because you know as well as I do, there are a lot of people that are just going to go, oh, I trust it. Oh, I'm not going to test it. If you have a question on anything, test it. And then you have peace of mind. And then you could turn and go, wow, my connection is golden. You just rather, that's what I tell people. Do that. Trust me. Or make sure you deal with somebody who can give you a certificate of analysis.
Mhm.
But on the HGH, you're going to see a lot of fake stuff going on. What you're also going to see is, and I guarantee it, you're going to see a lot of CJC, ipamorelin, samorelin, tesamorelin being passed off as HGH.
Yeah, you're probably right. Definitely.
Think about it.
Yep.
You're
Because
going to see that. Yep, because people are going to get results. People are going to, and they're not going to realize. Now, if you're advanced, if you've used it you're going to know immediately. Do you know what I mean? But for a lot of people who are going to take the jump for the first time and, oh, I want to use this, I've heard about this, they're not going to realize the difference. They're going to see results. They're going to feel a difference. And I guarantee that's going to happen too. You're going to see a lot of the growth hormone releasers being passed off as real HGH.
Let me ask you, because a lot of people, there's a lot of bodybuilding shows recently that a couple of people I know gone to, and they always have the bodybuilders there signing autographs and the lines there, but there was a long line, and it was for peptides. People were selling peptides at these shows. Do you think that's smart? Do you think that's good? What do you think?
It's funny you say that, because I've been seeing that all over. Also, they have down here the Miami Fitness Expo and the Tampa Fitness Expo and all this. And, I see it online too. When I see the peptide companies there pushing their products.
Correct.
And, okay, it's a catch-22. While they're getting business, while they're getting their name out there, while they're promoting themselves out there, you got to remember, these peptides are still not made 100% legal, okay, yet. They're not, while they've been passed for it, it doesn't mean that you can openly sell it. So are you opening yourself up to a possible issue? You are, because if you just get the wrong person that works for the wrong agency there, and they decide, you know what? I didn't like the attitude of this person working the booth, or I didn't like the person who was the owner, or they gave me an attitude. I'm going to open a case on them. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just, it's you got to think about that. You got to think about, and they're pushing them out there right now, and you got to look at it and go, wait a minute. You have a website that right there says you got to be 18 and older to access the website. A lot of these websites you have to sign up for. You can't even just access it without, being a signed member. The next thing is, on their website, it says for research purposes only, because that's how they have to sell it, because it's not approved. A lot of them aren't approved for human, use yet. So while other peptide companies are being shut down, we talked about that recently. Okay. You've got other ones flaunting it. No, that's just not the smartest thing. Put it out there. I wouldn't go out there. I wouldn't listen. Could I go to one of these expos, set up a booth, and just flaunt peptides all day? Of course I could. Would I? No, that would be idiotic. That would be idiotic. I do business a different way. Do you know what I'm saying? That would be idiotic. That would be the same thing in a way. And I don't want people to jump on this comment the wrong way, but in a way it is. It's the same way as going up and setting a booth and saying prime steroids and growth hormone.
Yep. 100%.
Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, when you break it down, at the end of the day, it's still illegal. Now, peptides are considered, if somebody was arrested, for example, with a trunk full of peptides, if you got a good criminal lawyer, they will get them classified as legacy drugs, which legacy drugs are the same thing as if you were arrested with a trunk full of injectable vitamin B12 with no prescription.
Gotcha.
It's not a class 3 drug like a steroid or like a growth
Mhm.
hormone. Okay.
Mhm.
That's going to bring about a major bust and major, accolades and all this.
Yep.
So it's a legacy drug. And 9 times out of 10, they're not even going to waste the time with that
Mhm.
because they know a good lawyer is going to get that reduced or thrown out of court completely. Okay. But at the same time, why bring attention to yourself or your company or it just makes no sense.
Mhm.
And now I just saw it up in Jersey, somebody who I'm friends with on Facebook, and they're pumping in there. They have a skin and nail place, and they do weight loss and all that there. Now they're pumping away. We have peptides now. Now, I know nothing about this place. That's up in Jersey, but you better have a doctor on staff if you have peptides.
Really?
That's all I'm saying. Now, if you have a doctor on staff, you're going to be able to get away with it, okay? If you don't have a doctor on staff or a doctor affiliated with it, you can open yourself up to problems.
100%. And Florida, where you are, is like the Wild West. They do a lot of things where, during the opiate pandemic and all that, they just things differently. I don't know
Different.
if has it tightened up down there since then?
It has tightened up. You go back 13 years ago with Lakewood Ranch Rejuvenation, that was truly the Wild West. That's when still the pill mills were open down here. That was a different story. That was truly the Wild West. Okay. They've tightened the strings a little bit, but it's still, compared to Jersey or New York or Pennsylvania to down here. Oh no, you could still get away with so much more down here as far as open-mindedness and things like that. And part of it has to do with the political stage also. I mean, this is a Republican state up there. I know Pennsylvania, Jersey, New York, those are all Democratic states.
Yeah,
so it has to do with that also. You know what I mean? It really does. I'm not bashing on this one. I'm just saying the way it is. You know what I'm saying? It really does break down to that, because if you really look at things, it's funny. I had a client of mine the other day say something to me, and they were telling me about their aunt and how their aunt her shoulder is so messed up and this and that and all this. And I said, my God, I go, the Wolverine stack, the BPC and the TB would be perfect for her. And this client uses peptides and this and that. So it's not like I'm talking to a client that doesn't know anything about it. You know what I mean? And he turned to me and goes, yeah, my aunt would never touch them though, because she's liberal, she's Democratic. And he said, because RFK Jr. promotes them. And I stopped for a minute and I scratched my head. And I said, do you know how that you're cutting off your nose to spite your face? So you're going to make everything political because a political party that you don't like speaks up for a certain thing, you have to be against it. So what if you really broke that down? If the party that you didn't like said, we are promoting this particular drug because we have found out it cures cancer, and you got cancer, you would turn around and say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm a Democrat, I can't take that because they're pushing it, I'll stick with my cancer. Do you see? I mean,
yeah,
that makes no sense to me.
Makes no sense at all. No.
I mean, none. Listen, I'll be the first one to say out there, if there was something the Democratic Party was, let's say the Democratic Party was all about peptides, right? Hey, guess what? And I'm not going to change my stance, okay? There's a lot of people out there that would immediately turn around and go, okay, death to peptides now because the Democrats are pushing it. That makes no sense to me. Base your opinion off of what your opinion truly is, not off of some party. Because, and again, at the end of the day, when I've said it to a million people before, do you think any politician gives two shits about you or me?
No, they don't. It's all about the money.
You can idolize whoever you want. You can be everybody knows my political affiliation. You know what I mean? But you can be a fan of this party or that party. But at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, you got to make your own decisions, because I don't care who the politician is. They don't care about you. They just don't.
Yeah, 100%.
They don't.
Yep. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, look, I support Trump, but I some things, of course, he says a little bit crazy, but I think he's probably the best one to lead the country than Kamala Harris ever would have.
I agree too.
100%. But some things people just can't. If Trump had the cure for cancer, people would be like, "Oh, there goes. Nope, 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 not gonna do it."
Exactly. And I've heard people say, because RFK Jr. is a strong proponent of peptides, they want nothing to do with peptides. And I'm like, that is so stupid. That is such closed mind thinking. And that's what happened with the whole COVID vax. It became political.
Mhm.
And, if people stopped for a minute and they really thought and they said, okay, I don't care about the political affiliation. I just want to know what I'm putting in my body. And they don't. And, I sit there and I just, listen, I'll be totally blunt because number one, I don't give two shits and I'm totally just open. So yeah, I'm a supporter of Trump. I'm a Republican, but at the same time, you want to know something? I have no problem with abortion.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
Now I'm not one of those, my God, you're murdering baby. Like, no. Okay. I'm going to sit there and say, now, if you use it for a form of birth control, like some of these people do, 7, 8 abortion, that's their birth control. Different story.
Yep.
That's a different story. But, when I see these cases of people, incest or rape victims, or this, give me a break. If they want to have an abortion, they should be able to.
They should be able to, yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? If you're a rape victim, just think about this. If you're a rape victim and you get pregnant, right? You're doing that kid an injustice, bringing that kid in the world, because I don't care what you say, that mother for the rest of their life is going to look at that kid and be reminded of the rape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if, I look at things, I go, okay, it has its place. I'm not one of those. So I make my own mind up on things. It's not that, my God, my political party believes this, so I must believe this. I mean, listen, a lot of people out there don't realize something. Remember, Trump went on air, just like Biden did, and showed the world that he got vaxxed. Now, do I believe either one of them really got vaxxed? No, I don't. But I really don't. I think both of them were staged. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he went on and he showed everybody that he got vaxxed. Mm-hmm. So wait a minute then. I should be sitting there going, well, if Trump got vaxxed, I'll get vaxxed. No. I made my own mind up. It was nothing to do with politics with the vax. Mm-hmm. It came down to my feel on the healthcare system, my feel on the vaccine and all that. But so many people sat there and went, my party's pushing the vax, I'll get the vax. What are you, stupid?
Yep, 100%. Let's now switch gears and talk about the two peptides we're going to talk about. First is Slurp PP32. That's what it's called?
Yep.
Okay, so tell me about that. What does it do? What are the benefits?
All right, so it's SLU-PP-32. Okay. And I made some notes here because I don't want to skip over anything on this. Okay. So I'm going to read off my notes here that I did. Okay. So I want to first premise it with this. It is an experimental small molecule drug. It's often pushed as a peptide. It's not a peptide.
It's not a peptide.
Not a peptide. Okay. So I want to lead with that because a lot of people put it in the peptide category. It's not a peptide. Yeah, it's a small molecule drug. Okay. Now it functions as an exercise mimetic. Okay. So I'm going to explain here. It acts by activating estrogen-related receptors, boosting cellular energy and metabolism. Okay.
Okay.
Now, here's what the science currently shows in trials with mice. Again, this is trials with mice. Fat loss triggers the body to shift metabolism to burn fatty acids, which has been shown to reduce fat mass. Endurance. Now, I want people to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Endurance tricks muscle fibers into behaving as if they are exercising, allowing treated mice to run up to 50% further.
Wow.
Break that down for a second.
Wow.
It's tricking muscle fibers into behaving as if they're exercising.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's where it gets the exercise mimetic moniker from. Okay. The third thing is energy output. It increases your mitochondrial respiration and energy expenditure, which helps improve glucose tolerance. Wow. Now, As we talked about in the past with HGH and all these different things and the importance of glucose tolerance and all that. Oh my God. So you read all this and you go, wait a minute, look at the benefits of all this, okay? And it's called SLUPP 32. There's a dash, SLU-PP-32. Now, that is marketed and a lot of people take it just by itself. But there's something that it could be compounded with. So it's a double molecule here, okay? And it's called BAM, B-A-M, just like one of my dogs, Bam Bam, okay? BAM 15. Now, that's a synthetic mitochondrial proton 4 uncoupler. So I'll explain what that is.
Okay.
It's studied in preclinical research for its ability to increase cellular energy expenditure, promote great fat loss without any muscular loss or waste, improve metabolic health without the severe toxicities historically associated with older uncouplers. Now, here's how it works. Normally, mitochondria use nutrient oxidation to pump protons and generate ATP. BAM15 disrupts this by making the inner mitochondrial membrane more permeable to protons. That is the process called uncoupling, okay? I didn't want to think anybody out there think that uncoupling meant people were breaking up. So heat dissipation. Instead of being stored as ATP, the energy from food is safely released as heat.
Okay.
So that's pretty amazing when you
That is great.
Okay. Increased respiration. This forces cells to metabolize more nutrients like fatty acids to maintain baseline energy levels, resulting in decreased body fat mass while holding body musculature mass.
Wow.
Okay. The key preclinical benefits: weight loss and fat reduction. It promotes weight loss by increasing fatty acid oxidation and in decreasing fat accumulation. Now, here's the key. Here's the big one. The next one in. No muscle loss whatsoever.
Wow.
Unlike severe calorie restriction or GLP-1s or past uncouplers, BAM15 helps preserve your lean muscle mass rather than eat it. Next one, with everybody out there with the GLP-1s and everything. BAM15, appetite unchanged. Studies show it reverses obesity without altering your food intake whatsoever. And it does not raise your body core temperatures to dangerous levels. So a lot of things in the past, like the ephedra and all, raising your body temperature, does nothing like that. Insulin sensitivity. It lowers liver fat, inflammatory lipids, and significantly improves glycemic control and insulin sensitivity. The last one, organ protection. Early research shows it protects against acute kidney damage and injury, sepsis, and it is being studied to cure some forms of cancer.
Wow.
So this, again, is not a peptide, it's a drug, is being looked at for so many different things besides just the, I'll just use the bodybuilding world, advantages of it. So the BAM15 and the SLU-PP32. Now, I'm going to say right out there, I actually myself have it coming in, and I am going to be running an experiment myself with this because this sounds so absurdly good. And I never use that. Me personally, I never use anything to cut weight, to cut up, listen, I've done shows before, as I've stated in the past, with 0 minutes of cardio. I've stepped on stage never doing 1 second of cardio for a show. Okay. I have I've always been very, very lucky to have a fast metabolism. I've always had an easier time just, cutting down if I need to. Okay. But this sounds amazing. And if you can be literally totally shredded and hold as much muscle mass as possible, why not give it a try? Now, that's everything anybody can look up themselves and read for themselves. Okay. Anybody can do that. Okay. What I just did right there. Okay. I Did that on purpose because I did not want to skip over anything on this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What people can't read for themselves is this: protocol, dosing, this and that. Okay. While some people will want to just stay on this, like they do their GLPs and this and that, this should be taken in a 12-week course, and then you take time off. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you do run it for 12 weeks, and then what I would recommend, what I have been a proponent, and you've heard me say it time and time again, of so many different types of products, time on equals time off.
Yep.
So if you're 12 weeks on, give me 12 weeks off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That doesn't mean that you're 12 weeks off, then all of a sudden you start eating pizza and ice cream. And my dogs know the word Pizza. And I just, one of them's head just spun around and looked at me when I said that word. Anyway, doesn't mean you just start eating pure crap. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, 12 weeks on was 12 weeks off. You have to do it do it protocol. You can't just stay on something because you like the results you get or this and that. It's not a hormone. It's not a testosterone where you can stay on that, or an estrogen or something like that.
What are the side effects? Are there any side effects that you know of?
Right now, no reported side effects whatsoever.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to use it myself for 12 weeks, and I'm going to once again be the research project, and I will report any side effects.
Mm-hmm. And men or women or men can take this, you're saying?
Women or men. Yep.
Women or men. Okay. Women or men.
Women or men. It's for both. It's for
Okay.
both. Women or men. I mean, any woman that wants to. I mean, listen. Everything I just read to people there. That sounds greater than a GLP-1 to me.
Yeah, it does.
Okay? Because the problem I have with all the GLP-1s is, and I've said this in the past, the bird look. Everybody gets that strung out look. They lose all their muscle. You look at them and you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like that guy you showed me a couple weeks ago.
Randy Jackson.
That's his name. I can remember his name. Yeah. American Idol, right?
Yeah, American Idol.
Okay. I was going to say the American Idol guy. I mean, that looks sickly to me.
Yeah, it does.
That looks sickly. And I see a lot of these people, I call it the GLP-1 face, that elongated face, and they look sunken in and this and that. What's happening? It's eating your muscle. It's eating your muscle in your body. It's eating, why do you think? Look at a lot of the GLP women. Look what's happening to their asses. Okay?
Yeah, everything's going.
Their asses are going in. They're going concave. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you can get something that doesn't burn, and that's my whole thing, and that's why always with cardio and everything, and I've, before a show, why if I could get away with doing no cardio, I didn't do any, because I believe cardio leads to muscle mass loss. You will burn muscle mass.
Mm-hmm.
You're spending all this time in the gym training and everything, trying to put muscle mass on. Then you're just spinning your wheels, taking it off. It makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
If you can get something that, oh my God, you can shred yourself to the bone, but keep your muscle mass without touching it whatsoever, that's gold.
That is 100%.
That's gold. So this is one of the rare things that, listen, I did a deep dive on, and I said, boom, I'm getting this. I'm jumping right on this. I ordered it. I'm getting it. And I recommended it to somebody else already. Listen, I'm excited about, because I'm like, all right, you know what? Like, it sounds fantastic, and it's an exercise mimetic, as well as I do. A lot of people out there are going to turn around and go, I don't have to exercise. I could just take this. No.
You got to exercise.
Imagine taking this and still training like a nut. Mm-hmm. Think about then the results you're going to get.
Yeah, that makes sense. 100%.
See, that's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? Oh, wait a minute. Continue to eat clean. Continue to train, the way you normally do. And you take this. Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. Where a lot of people out there will go, whoo, I don't have to exercise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. So you're going to be starting that soon, I guess, right?
Yep.
You get it?
I'm just waiting for it to come in, to be shipped over to me, so
right.
Probably I'm going to say, we'll say Wednesday, I'd probably be on it by this time next week. I'd take a guess.
Okay. All right. And then we'll follow up as you go in your process and how you feel towards it.
Yeah.
Everyone knows.
Yeah. So I'm going to definitely, I'll let everybody know on that because this one I'm kind of excited for. You know, I'm like, wow, like this is
pretty good. All right, guys. Cool. We have to cut the short show. I got another interview after this, but again, another great week. Garrett, we'll talk next week about our next project. We're going to talk about another.
Next week. I just want to throw that out there. Next week is a show for the women.
Show for the women. There you go.
Show for the women next week. I am getting into everything next week. Women, hormonal, what peptides are the best for you, premenopausal, postmenopausal, perimenopausal, all the menopausals. So
all right. So it'll be another great show. All right, guys. I will see you next week. All right. Talk to you later, Garrett.
Yeah, man.
You got it, brother.
Started from nothing. Jersey streets, we owned it. Jay-Z pumping iron. Bodybuilder.